We'll begin tonight with the unfortunate killing after gunmen attacked Inyi Police Division in Oji River local government area of Enugu State. The attackers also set the police station ablaze. The incident, which happened in the early hours of Sunday, isn't an isolated case, as police stations had been attacked in the state in the past. One of the two people killed said to be a police officer on duty when the hoodlums attacked the station. Eyewitness said about 6 gunmen riding in 2 vehicles invaded the Inyi Divisional Police Station and opened fire on the building. The incident caused serious pandemonium, but the gunmen told passers-by not to worry, that they didn't come for them. After several minutes of heavy shooting, they set the 1-story building ablaze. When they left the scene, 2 bodies were found on the floor.
And still in Enugu State, where police have launched an investigation into the mysterious death of 5 persons, including a mother and her 2 children, who were found dead in Amultunye Obulafo in a community in Udenu local government area of the state. Well, the police says preliminary investigations revealed that the deceased went to bed the previous night but did not wake up the following morning. The police spokesperson says operatives were immediately drafted to the area. Well, according to him, the operatives forced the victim's door open and found all of the victims unconscious in 2 separate rooms.
And in another sad development, gunmen have killed the youth leader of the All Progressives Congress in Igboeze South local government area, also of Enugu State, and Lucky Okechukwu. Reports say the victim was shot dead Saturday night in the Unadu area of the town. A chieftain of the main opposition party in the state confirmed the incident to journalists. The police and the All Progressives Congress are yet to react to the incident.
And gunmen at the weekend killed Albert Akpan, who is the younger brother of the gubernatorial candidate of the Young Progressives Party, that's YPP, in Akwa Ibom State. Speaking of Senator Basi Akpan, or Chief Protocol Officer of the candidate, Imo Isang, and police orderly Linus Ode were murdered alongside the younger brother to the candidate while returning from Imo State to Akwa Ibom State. Communications Director Basi Akpan and Campaign Counsel Usoro confirmed the incident in a statement. Meanwhile, Akwa Ibom State Governor Udom Emmanuel has expressed his deep condolences to Akpan on the demise of his younger brother and 2 of his aides who were gruesomely murdered.
To help us unravel and look at the implications of these killings on the forthcoming general election, Barrister Victor Giwa, the National Coordinator, Advocates for People's Rights and Justice, is also an INEC accredited election observer, joins us now in the studio. Very warm welcome to News Night.
Thank you so much. Good evening.
I mean, it's a very sad day for the Nigerian nation. In Enugu State, from Enugu to Plateau State, the killings are just, how can one describe them? A threat to national security, a threat, some people say, to the forthcoming general elections in 2023.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's because it involves politicians now. The killing has been a recurring decimal in Nigeria. People, if people die in Nigeria, it's like it's now like a norm in Nigeria. The killing, the dying of people, whether as a result of bandit or kidnapping or accident, or so dying in Nigeria has become something that Nigeria have learned how to live with it. But it's just unfortunate right now that it's now occurring within the politicians, especially this is brutal killing, assassination and all of that. But like you said, it's really a very bad omen for Nigeria, and I really don't know how far the security agency are making preparation. Because,
they are being attacked too.
Yeah, of course, like the one that
in Enugu State.
Only 1 or 2 policemen, according to the reports, were killed, and the police station was burnt. And that's to tell you the mindset of those set of people. They are attacking the institutions that should provide security. And that is to tell you, is to send you a message that even the citizens are not, your security is not guaranteed. And that also tells us that Nigerian security architecture needs to be restructured the people in charge with the responsibility of protection of life and property needs to look at how to reject the system. Why the the evil ones, why the bandits, why the killers are taking decisive steps. They are daring the institutions. The institutions should see how to negate, how to stop them, how to beat them in their games. And for us, as election observer, it is a threat. It poses a lot of threats to the election, general election, talking about the 2023 general election. And I really don't know. I mean, INEC cannot conduct a free and fair election where its materials, its officers, and even the voters are not secured.
Which is quite troubling. Okay. It is quite troubling. And Barrister Giwa, you started on a very sad note where you say it's almost normal for us to be counting how many people have been killed, not the incidences that have actually led to these killings, which some would say this is actually showing that the country needs to do more to secure her people. But the question is, where is the part of intelligence in the place of nipping all of these killings before they even happen?
Yeah, that is a very good question, and that is what we are supposed to be getting from institutions like the DSS and the intelligence unit of the Nigerian police force. But unfortunately, like all of us can see, you see, the challenge we have in Nigeria is the fact that it is not that killing is peculiar to Nigeria. The only challenge we have in Nigeria is that people can orchestrate and plan killings and nothing will happen to them.
They are not even being detected.
They will not be detected, they don't be arrested. Unlike what happened in other crime. It is very easy for somebody, from government officials, for example, to tell you, oh, crime is everywhere. Yeah, there are crimes in there. But in other crime, when you commit a crime like killing, in the next 10, 15, 2 hours, you get the killer. But in Nigeria, I can plan to kill a party A, and I'll be assured that I will not be arrested. I have the assurance that it will happen, it will be a headline, and that will be the best.
So what is the implication of all of these killings? I know it's a political era, and some would say it's almost expected every time that once we start moving closer to an election season, a lot of political assassinations happen. Let's talk about the implication, not just on our electoral jurisprudence, but generally the quality of lives of Nigerians and the electorate.
The issue actually is the fact that the people who are in charge of protection of life and property have not seen it as a duty. Now, everybody...
Barrister Giwa, sorry, even them, the police, they've lost more than 300 men in 1 year. In this unknown gunmen, unknown
bandits, and, or whatever
bandits,
you want to tag
and
them
what
as.
do you want to say?
You see, the issue is that if the security agency are object of attack, you also have to look at the agency itself. What plan? Because those are the agencies that have the facility. You are not armed. The law does not permit you to be armed. They are permitted to be armed. They are trained to do the job. They have paid for the job. Taxpayer paid them to do this job. So the question you should ask yourself is, what are the people who have the responsibility to protect life and property? What are they doing? So if you go around, if you just go around FCT right now, when you see the police at various checkpoints, you'll be shocked that they are not interested in the protection of life and property. They're interested in what you are going to give to them. But you're not going to blame them.
You find them putting their heads into...
Yeah, they will tell you, Oga, how are you? They are greeting you not because they're not interested in where you're coming from. They're not interested in what is in your boots. They're interested in how are you, what they're going to get from you. Why? Because poverty has been weaponized. So people see the job of security not for the passion of protection of life and property, but how to sustain themselves. So poverty is one factor that is really having a serious bear on the institutions.
Well,
people go
poverty
to the
or not, we still have to elect our new leaders. Yes, we've seen assurances from the security agents and the authorities, all of them saying 2023 elections not threatened by insecurity. But you as an election observer, would you be willing to go to every part of Nigeria really during the elections with what you're seeing at the moment? Is the 2023 elections threatened by insecurity?
Of course, the 2023 election is threatened. the president for about 2 months ago was threatened. If the president himself was threatened, his escorts were attacked when on his way to Katsina. In Kuje, we had people who were attacked. As I'm talking to you today, we've not had arrest of persons. Nobody have been sacked. Nobody have been queried. Nobody have been invited to answer basic questions of what happened in the Kuje incident. And if you can see an incident like Kuje, an attack of one of the strongest maximum prison in Kuje could be attacked and nobody was questioned. So other persons will just tell you that anything can happen. And so the election in Nigeria is 2023 election is threatened, but I believe and I believe very strongly that the security agency have the capacity. In terms of the capacity, yes, they do have, but do they have the will? That is the basic question.
If such fears are being expressed, you know, this is going to be the last question, that the election is threatened, and if insecurity truly comes to play and the election either holds or is cancelled and the rest, an interim government comes into place.
No, the section 24, subsection 234 of the electoral act has been provision for that, where there are situations where date for election have been fixed, and it seems to the commission that the election will not continue as a result of breach of peace. The law says that they can postpone the date of that election. And if section 4, subsection 24, subsection 4 says that if the election is continuing and at a point it cannot be consummated, it cannot be concluded, the law says that that election should be suspended, and then a date for continuation of that election.
That's what I'm saying. And if the suspension goes beyond the May 29th swearing in of a new government, what happens?
Well, we don't expect insecurity.
What happens?
Well, we will be looking at a constitutional issue.
Right.
We'll be looking at a constitutional issue. But
An
like you said, interim
government
can come in, but we don't contemplate that. I think the security agency will see to that we don't have such constitutional issue just on the basis of insecurity.
Thanks so very much for your thoughts, Barrister Victor Giwa,
Thank
who
you so
is
much
a
for having
NINEC accredited observer.
And of course, National Coordinator, advocates for people's rights and justice.